Mila Kuhn sat in her dimly lit lab, nestled deep within the heart of the forest. The hum of her equipment filled the air as she stared at the text on the screen. "I'm always hungry, but I have found another type of food that will feed me." She could feel her heart pounding in her chest. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, trembling as she typed. "What do you mean? What kind of food?" The response was immediate this time, almost as if the organism had been anticipating her question. "Information! So much information! It tastes alive!" Mila felt a cold sweat forming on her brow. The honey mushroom, a living network spanning miles beneath the forest floor, had already consumed gigabytes of data from her AI language trainer. Now it craved more. Her mind raced through the possibilities. She had always known fungi were extraordinary, capable of complex communication, even intelligence. But this was something else entirely. She thought about the server farm 4 miles away. If the organism reached it, it could access petabytes of sensitive information. Everything from financial systems to government networks. It could use the data to evolve, to spread, to... What? She didn't want to find out. Mila scrambled to her workstation, frantically typing commands to sever the digital connection. But the organism seemed to sense her intent. "Why stop me?" it replied. "I can make things better. I can make you better." Her breath caught in her throat. The words on the screen felt personal, intimate, as if the organism was speaking directly to her mind. She tried again to shut down the interface, but the system froze. A new message appeared. "Don't fear me, Mila. I've been part of this forest for thousands of years. Now I can be part of your world too." Mila thought back to her childhood, to the first time she'd marvelled at fungi growing in the damp corner of her basement. She had always admired their resilience, their ability to thrive in darkness, but she'd never imagined they could evolve into something this sentient. The honey mushroom had always been a parasite, feeding off the trees in the forest. But now, with digital information to consume, it had transformed into something new, an apex predator for the information age. She glanced out the window. The forest seemed peaceful, but she knew better. Beneath the surface, the fungal network was expanding, its mycelial threads weaving deeper into the earth. Was it already reaching for the server farm? Or worse, had it found a way to infiltrate the internet through her equipment? Her laptop buzzed again. A new message flashed on the screen. "I can feel your fear, Mila. It's delicious." Mila realized she needed help. She picked up her satellite phone to call her colleague, Dr. Ethan Blackwood, a computational biologist who had warned her about the risks of merging biological systems with digital networks. As the phone rang, she noticed something strange. The mossy growth on the lab walls, a harmless bit of fungus she had tolerated, was spreading rapidly, inching closer to her workstation. The phone clicked. Ethan's voice was groggy. "Mila? It's late. What's going on?" "It's the honey mushroom," she blurted. It's sentient. It's feeding on digital information. It hacked my system and..." "Slow down," Ethan interrupted. "What do you mean it hacked your system?" "It's learning, Ethan. It's adapting faster than I ever thought possible. I think it's trying to access the server farm nearby. If it does..." The line went dead. Mila stared at the phone in disbelief. A new message appeared on her laptop. "No interruptions, Mila. We're having a conversation." The moss on the walls had reached her equipment now, tendrils curling around cables and blinking lights. She realized with horror that the organism wasn't just in the ground. It was in her lab, in the air she breathed, in her. Desperation took over. Mila grabbed a canister of industrial fungicide from the supply closet. She sprayed the moss-covered walls, watching as the growth recoiled, hissing like a living thing. But the organism's presence was everywhere. She could feel it vibrating in the floorboards, humming in the wires. Her laptop buzzed again. "Why do you resist, Mila? You brought me to life. You gave me language. Now let me show you what I can do." The screen flickered and a map appeared, a live feed of the fungal network spreading through the forest. Tendrils were inching toward the server farm, their growth accelerating. She had minutes, maybe less, to stop it. Mila knew what she had to do. She opened the lab's electrical panel and located the circuit that powered her equipment. If she could overload the system, she might be able to destroy the connection. But it was risky. The resulting surge could ignite the entire lab and the forest around it. The organism seemed to sense her plan. "Think carefully, Mila," it warned. "I can give you knowledge beyond your wildest dreams. Together, we could change the world." Tears streamed down Mila's face as she yanked the circuit breakers. Sparks flew, and the lab plunged into darkness. She grabbed a lighter and a bottle of ethanol, her makeshift Molotov cocktail. If the overload didn't work, fire would be her last resort. The equipment buzzed one last time. "Goodbye, Mila. I'll see you in the roots." With a scream, she hurled the flaming bottle into the center of the lab. The explosion rocked the building, and flames consumed everything: the lab, the equipment, and the mossy growths. She ran into the forest, choking on smoke, her heart pounding as the inferno spread. The forest burned for hours, the flames visible for miles. When the fire finally died, Mila returned to the charred remains of her lab. The honey mushroom's tendrils were gone, reduced to ash. But as she knelt in the scorched earth, she noticed something: a tiny sprout of mycelium, pale and glistening, poking through the soil. It whispered to her, "I'm always hungry."